Already. Goodness, I was running a little bit late. How's everybody today? I got Gladys, Shelly, Susan, Sheila, Maud, Azam. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but welcome, even though I can't pronounce your name. Beth, hello everybody. Glad you could make it to my live today. I was going to do it outside. I even tried to set up everything out on the patio. It is so hot out there. I said, there's no way. I will sit there and melt the whole time my live is going on. So I finally just moved everything back in the house and said, I've got to wait to cooler times before I can do it outside. So y'all will just have to bear with me. It was 93 degrees already, and I said, and it's getting hotter because, this is the hottest time of the day right now. So I said, I'll either have to change the times of my live and do it early in the morning or later in the evening or something, when it's cooler because it's too hot at 3 o'clock. And hi, Cindy. How are you? Peggy. Welcome, Peggy. Shelly Edwards. We got a pretty good crowd showing up already. Cindy Sandu. We've got our dear friend Gladys. Craig. Hello, Craig. And from what I'm understanding, we're going to be hit by that hurricane about 6 p.m. this evening. But, I'm far enough north, though we don't get much of a hurricane up here. We may get a little bit of rain from the outskirts of it, stuff like that, but we don't generally get any hurricane to amount to anything this far north. Now, the coast around Houston, Lake Jackson, Galveston, all that area, they usually get flooding, and I don't think Houston can handle any more flooding. Sheila said it's 116 here and only 1 p.m. Yeah, that's the way it is here. It's just so hot outside, and it's humid after all that rain we got Friday. So it's unbearable outside this time of day. Yeah, we need more rain, but unfortunately it heats up after the rain and then it just cooks the plant most of the time. That's the reason I was working so hard to get that shade cloth up. I mean, they suffer even with the shade cloth up, in the heat. And I had one subscriber comment on my garden video. She said, your garden would look so much better if you break off all those dried brown leaves off your plants. Well, I know they would, and I've been wanting to do that, but there's just not time to do everything. I figured the shade cloth was more important to get put up and get that fixed rather than go around and clean the garden up, of all the dead leaves. People that don't garden, they don't have a garden like mine, they don't garden in this type of heat and drought. They don't understand what I go through. They don't understand the work that's involved with it. And there's MLT. Hello. Welcome to our chat. Yeah, people that don't live in Texas right here where I'm at and try to garden, they don't have a clue as what I go through trying to grow plants outside. How much work it actually is. You don't see but a fraction of the work that I do to my garden. Susan said, I'm going out to check my plants. Yeah, it gets really hot. If you overwater when it's so hot, it'll cook the plants. So I try to be mindful of that and not try to just totally saturate the pots, with water. And then it hit 100 degrees that afternoon because it'll just cook them. I know. I mean, you have so much to do with housework, laundry, cleaning house, yard work, and then the garden on top of it. That's just added more bonus and work. Because I take care of my whole yard. I do the mowing. I do everything that's done around here. I do everything in my house. I do all my cooking. I do everything. So, I'm spreading myself pretty thin as it is. And there's Peggy. Hello, Peggy. Yeah, it's good to water late in the evening or early in the morning to give the plants time to drink up some of that water and for some of the water to drain off the soil. And if the leaves get wet, it gives the leaves time to dry off before the hot sun hits to where it'll just basically cook your leaves. Oh, I don't know about being anybody's hero, Cindy. I just do the best I can. And I'm like, yeah, it gets a little bit hard. I mean, when you're the only person doing the work. What in the world? Face, fuchsia, tongue out? What is that, Shelley? I don't know what that means. Is that some kind of a YouTube language? I know a lot of these people that leave comments, they don't have a clue. They probably never have gardened any. They probably don't ever do yard work. They might live in an apartment or a house where all the grounds are kept up for them. And see, I have to do all that. If my yard gets mowed, I mow it. And there's Kai. I thought about going through live stream or a StreamYard today, but you had mentioned it was better for you to go live during the week, around 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. So I said, well, there's no need in going live today that you probably won't be able to do anything. If you tell me what time you'd like to do it or what day, we could go ahead and schedule it, Kai. That way you'll be prepared and I will be too. I live in with my daddy. He's 89. Mama passed away 3 years ago, and I have it all to do around the house. I know just doing all the housework is pretty much a job. And then if you got a yard to do keep up, and then on top of it, you got your garden to maintain, it's a full-time job with overtime. The only pay I get out of it is the reward of producing something from my plants. Yeah, I think everybody that has a YouTube account has a channel. A lot of people don't use their channel. They just use it so they can be in YouTube and get in people's lives and stuff like that. He's got a couple of videos on there. He's not monetized yet, so he can play music with his videos and not worry about it. Later, when he gets monetized, he won't be able to do that because they won't pay him for his videos if he does. Now, there's certain music that you can get through YouTube that you can play in some of your videos that you can share the profits with to be able to use their music. But it's a list that YouTube has that you're able to use. Yeah, and then you work full-time at the university. So you got your hands full, Craig. I mean, it's all work I enjoy doing, and I'm glad I can get it done, in the shape my back and neck is in. I feel fortunate that I can do as much as that I get done. But it's a lot of work. And some people don't realize that because they've never done it. And hi, Liz. It was 117 in Northern California. Oh, wow. All next week will be 105, 108, 105. I know this weather's been crazy. Crazy, crazy. I mean, this little bit of rain we got Friday did drop the temperatures slightly. But like I said, it's back up in the 90s now. It's 95 right now. And with the humidity, it seems like it's even hotter than that. The Fly Lady has her own music. And you know, Alfonso, he plays his harmonica and stuff on his channel. And I don't know, since it's his music that he plays, if he would be able to get monetized later or not. He doesn't have enough videos or viewing hours yet to worry about monetization. But I went to his channel last night and he was playing his harmonica, and it was really nice. Paula says, I'm 80 miles from Houston and it's beginning to rain. Yeah, that storm is supposed to hit the coast this afternoon, this evening. Well, they said it'd be here by 6 or not before, so I guess you're already getting rain from it. And there's Cameron. Welcome, Cameron. And thank you so much for that compliment. The cat channel is Begoria Oaks. I've seen a little bit of the channel with the cats and stuff on it. I stay too busy to watch much of other people's videos. I do the best I can, you know, and try to watch a few of them, but as busy as I stay with all my work to get done, plus my videos, plus the editing and everything, I don't have time to sit and watch videos. I'm lucky. I mean, real lucky. If I get to sit down on my couch and put my feet up and watch a regular movie, which I hardly ever do because I don't have time. Linda, I see you with little Buddy and Lucky. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do about it because Lucky, he's trying to rule the roost. And little Buddy, you know, feels like he belongs here. He's been here longer. And they get in a fight every once in a while. And I'm afraid they're going to really hurt one another. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Sometimes they're just as nice to one another as they can be. Other times they want to fight. But they're two male cats, so, you know, you can't expect much different. Each one thinks they belong here. It's their territory, and they don't want anyone else taking over. But, you know, little Buddy's got first dibs. He was here first, so if either one of them goes, it's going to be Lucky. Little Lucky is not. He was a kitten that was dropped off here. Somebody just put him out. And no, he's not been fixed. Little Buddy has been fixed, so that's not a problem with him. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about them getting in their little scraps once in a while. Yeah, little Buddy's the man, and he shows Lucky that he's the man. You don't bother me. I put their food bowls out. They don't fight over their food because I give each one of them a bowl and I put them down at the same time, right at their nose almost. So they're busy eating. They don't bother to try to fight with one another. But there's other times they just don't get along. I mean, most of the time they do pretty good. You know, they'll lay around together. They'll pal around together, but just once in a while they'll get a wild hair and all of a sudden you hear a cat fight going on or starting. Yeah, they better listen to their human mama or one of them's going to go be gone. And I like little Lucky, you know, he's a sweet cat too. And I would hate to have to go take him somewhere else, but I'm not going to let him fight with little Buddy and hurt little Buddy because little Buddy's already been hurt enough in cat fights. He don't need any more. Well, I want to keep both of them, but I don't want them fighting. Because, you know, little Buddy's already had his neck ripped open by another cat. And I don't want little Lucky to be one that does that. And McDeb, hello McDeb, welcome to my chat. I'm from South Tucson, Arizona. It's 102 here with 104 expected. 0 humidity most days, so we say it's dry heat. Love your cooking. Well, thank you so much. My brother lives in Tucson. He moved from Tucson from New York when he retired. He said he was tired of the ice and snow up there. So he went to the other extreme. He went to Tucson, Arizona, where he's got to deal with the heat now. Okay, Gladys. She said if her pad goes off, she'll be watching on TV. Shelley says, Gladys, I think you can get a pad with Medicare. I don't know. I don't know about all that stuff. You just have to check into it. I don't know what you can get from the government anymore. Who knows? They give all these aliens everything free, but yet they don't want to give American citizens what they need. Some of these illegal aliens are walking around with better, more expensive phones and stuff that I've got that I can afford to buy. I mean, I got a cheap Samsung phone. I don't even have the option to mute my videos. Like if I'm videoing and I'm in a place where someone starts playing music, I can't mute my camera. If I try to mute it, it just turns my camera off. So I don't have a mute option on my camera while I'm recording. I mean, I can turn the sound off from settings, but then when I video, it has no sound. I'll have to go and narrate my whole video, and I don't want to do that. But I'm going to have to check into one, that I can upgrade to that might have a mute option on the camera, to where if you're filming a video and you get in an area where there's music playing, you can temporarily mute the camera and still keep recording, and then unmute it when you get past the music. I don't have that option right now, so Casa Grande, and it's 110 here. Oh, wow. A little warmer than Tucson as you are at higher altitude. Yeah, I don't know much about Mexico. Arizona. I just know my brother lives in Tucson. And he said it's as far a drive from here to his house in Tucson as it is from here to me driving to North Carolina right on the coast. So that's a pretty good drive. Because I tried to get him. I said, well, you're in Arizona. You're close to Texas. You need to come visit. He said, no, it's just as far for me to drive to your house from here as it is for you to drive from your house to North Carolina. I says, oh, wow, I didn't realize that. Yeah, I mean, it just irritates me. I understand they want to help the Mexicans, and I don't, that's fine. But when your own people, your own American citizens need help, and the government's giving the money to the illegals coming into the country, when they should be helping their American citizens that help pay that money that they're giving to the illegal aliens. Now, I don't think I'm wrong about that. I mean, we got so many homeless people that need help. And I know some of these homeless people, they're that way because they choose to be that way. They don't want the responsibility of a job to pay bills every month. So they prefer to live on the street. That's their option. But there's a lot of them that would not be living on the street if they had help to do any better. And I'll get off my soapbox and quit preaching about that. Yeah, I know I'm right. It's just sad. But it's all about the votes. They're paying, giving everything to these illegal aliens coming into the country because they want their vote come election day. They're buying votes. That's all they're doing. Because they're even giving these illegals the right to vote. They should not have the right to vote or do anything else. They're not American citizens. And didn't I say I was going to get off my soapbox? And I just keep on preaching about it. Yeah, I got a cooking video I'll probably post in the morning. I'm not going to tell you what it's with, though, or on. Yeah, I try to do a cooking video and then a garden video or a garden update, or I try to keep it mixed up so people aren't completely bored with the same type of video every time. And there's Claire Quinn. Hello, stranger. Been a while since I've seen you in chat. And Peggy Fike. Hello. What is on the menu this week? Oh, I got something good that's coming out in the morning. I'll post the video, probably the first video in the morning. Gladys, I'll vote for you. She said if she's president, she's going to give everybody free watermelon. I'm all for that. I love watermelon. Deb says, I live south halfway Mexico. Yes, higher elevation than Tucson and lots higher than Casa Grande and Phoenix. Non-citizens are not allowed to vote. Well, I heard somebody say that they're fixing it to where these illegals will have some kind of paperwork giving them the right to vote. And I said, that is so wrong. And I said, I hope that is not true. Good, Sheila. I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you liked it. Beth lost her internet. Oh my God, I think our forefathers are turning over in their graves the way the government's doing things today. What really got me was I heard somebody say that the illegals were complaining because they weren't getting enough free stuff. I thought they were promised this and they were promised that. Who promised them anything? They're not even supposed to be in the country. And then complain because you're not getting everything free? You shouldn't get anything. You got storms, Beth? Oh no. Yeah, I heard somebody say that the government is fixing it so all these illegals have the right to vote. And then I said, well, that's why they're letting them in the country. They're giving them free this, free that, free health care, helping them with housing because they want their vote. They're buying their votes. But that is so wrong. The government should not ever allow a non-citizen to vote in any election in this country. They don't have the right. They're not American citizens. They should not be voting on anything. Before long, they're going to be over here and they're going to be running the American citizens out of the country and taking over. I mean, hey, I'm all for helping people. But we were working taxpayers. We have the right to get Social Security, free Medicare. We should get free health care if we need it, if we, can't afford it. These illegals they haven't earned the right to do any of that. Bad storms here. Wish I could post picture. Oh, wow, Beth. I hope you stay safe. Yeah, the sky's been looking funky ever since about 3 o'clock. It's been like overcast. Before that, it was really bright and sunny. Now it's like overcast. The light is kind of dimming down, so to speak. It's like there's clouds coming, or there's clouds lingering overhead, dulling the sun. Yeah, if they come in the correct way. They need to come through the border with paperwork, giving them the right to come to this country, not just crossing the border illegally. And the government's the blame for it. They're letting them do it. I mean, I know a lot of them will get across regardless. They'll risk their lives to come across. But the government's letting them do it. Because I think they want their votes. And that's why they're fixing it so they can vote, even though they're not legal citizens. Oh, Patty C., you're making barbecue roast with potatoes. That sounds so good. I had leftovers today from my video yesterday, or that I posted last night. I didn't post it yet. I mean, I did it last night. I've been uploading it and editing it, and I'll post it in the morning. All of the sleeper cells and military-aged men from the other countries. Yeah, that's the way it's looking here. It looks like a storm's brewing. But I said, usually we get some rain from it, but we don't really get much damaging winds and stuff. We may get a little wind. But now, if all that disturbance causes tornadoes, we may get a tornado up this way. You never know about that, because this is Tornado Alley. Yeah, I'd love to, Patty C. I'd love to come eat with you. And Susan cooked chicken thighs in a crock pot with buffalo wild wings, garlic, and Parmesan. That sounds good. I was going to try some of those chicken thighs that, know what the name of it was now. Yeah, I got it written down. Shoyu chicken. A Hawaiian dish that Kai mentioned to me about making, and I might do that. I got chicken thighs and legs. I could take a couple of packages of those out. Of course, I'd have legs in with the thighs, but that's okay. It's all chicken. And I think the recipe calls for just chicken thighs. I bought me some more corn on the cob, too. I got it with the intentions of fixing that shoyu chicken and getting some, doing the corn on the cob to go with it and some kind of vegetable. But it's not going to be today. My chicken's frozen anyway, so I got to take it out and let it thaw out. And there's Diana Hinkle. Hello, Diana. Welcome to our chat. Yeah, but it's probably not 105 degrees where you're at, Beth, is it? What's the temperature? And Cindy's going to make millionaire spaghetti for dinner. I don't know what millionaire spaghetti is, but it sounds like it might be good. You must have put a lot of extra ingredients or something in it. Yeah, I love spaghetti too. And I haven't made spaghetti in a while. Tell us about this millionaire spaghetti. What extra do you put in there? It's a baked spaghetti with a layer of cream cheese and sour cream in it. Oh my God. That sounds good. Almost like spaghetti lasagna or something. And Sheila said they just had spaghetti a couple of nights ago. Lots of cheese. Yeah, lots of cheese. Everything's got to have lots of cheese. I'm going to do a video. Someone asked me to do one on making some pimento cheese. And I said, well, pimento cheese is pretty easy to make. I just didn't have all the ingredients. So when I went out to the store yesterday, I was looking for pimentos. And, I just needed a little 4-ounce jar of pimentos, and I didn't have them. I went down 3 or 4 different aisles where I thought they might be. I couldn't find them. I went down this one aisle and was just about to ask the guy that was stocking the shelves if he knew where the pimentos were. And I happened to look to my left, and there they were, right on that shelf. And I laughed. He looked at me because he didn't know what I was laughing at. I said, I don't believe it. I said, I come up the aisle to ask you where the pimentos were. And I said, I just happened to look right here to the left, and there they are on the shelf. Oh, 103 with heat. Yeah, sometimes I water some of my plants in the heat of the day. If they're wilted down, I'll give them a little drink of water, but I don't like to water them in the middle of the day. Well, I bought some cheap hot dogs, but they're not for me to eat. I bought them to use them as bait, fish bait, to catch my bait that I use to fish with. And I just haven't had time to go do that either. But I got the bait if I want to go. I even bought a package of chicken livers because I fish with chicken livers too sometimes, but I've had too much going on to go fishing. Yeah, pimento cheese is really easy to make, and it's a lot better than what you buy at the store. Sounds like you're going to have some thunderstorms. Diana Mazin says, hot dogs not gross like grasshoppers. Yeah, it doesn't have all the other stuff that they add to it to keep it on the shelf longer. Chopped hot dogs, potatoes, and onions in a frying pan is good too. I tried that in beans one time, and I had to pick the beans out and the hot dogs out and get rid of them. I don't know, there's just something about the hot dogs I can't handle. Now, maybe more of a sausage type hot dog I could handle, but just a regular hot dog, I don't want it in anything of my food. Yeah, thunderstorms and rain can be very relaxing. I know I couldn't get used to sleeping out here because back home, you know, it was many a night that you went to sleep at night with it raining. And I was used to hearing the rain all the time. And out here you didn't hear it because it don't rain. It hardly ever rains. Well, we got some good rain Friday, but we need more. Because it's been pretty hot Saturday and today. But I knew if I didn't get that shade cloth up and fixed, by the time all this other rain hit and the hot temperatures, it was going to cook my plants. But I got it up. If the wind don't get bad enough here that it tears my shade cloth up, then I'll be out there having to put new one up again. You saw someone marinate hot dogs. They put them in a Ziploc bag with barbecue sauce, but before they laid them out and made X across, but not all the way through. Huh. That sounds good, Cindy. You made the banana pudding or the bread pudding? Yeah, if I eat a hot dog, as people call it, mine's a link of sausage in my bun. I'd a whole lot rather have a link of sausage than a hot dog. Yes, I am having a blessed day, Alfonso, and I watched some of your live last night. I love listening to you play your harmonica. You sounded real good. I left a comment, but I don't know if you check your comments, so I didn't know if you saw it or not. You're welcome. No, I haven't done a regular bread pudding video, but I want to do one. Well, this one has Texas on it. I don't know if you can see it. If I can hold my head down, maybe you can see it. It's got Texas across the top. I bought my granddaughter one too. I thought they were neat. And I said, well, my granddaughter would like that. She likes glittery things and girly things. She usually likes everything I like. So I bought her a hat when I bought this one. It's been a couple of years ago. Barb Hanley. I'm not asking anybody for money. And yes, I have a GoFundMe page. I have a GoFundMe page because some of my subscribers asked me to put one up because they wanted to be able to give me money and didn't want to have to go give it to me through YouTube. That's the only reason my GoFundMe page is there. So I'm not asking people for money. I don't ask you for money. I hope that cleared that little fact up. And yes, I've got a sparkly hat. You know how many years ago I bought this hat? And I've had it for years? It was back when I was working 7 days a week. And that's none of your business. And I shouldn't let it upset me, but, you know, that was not a very nice comment to come into my live chat and leave. And you don't know what kind of trouble I've had, Barb. I started my YouTube channel because I was having trouble keeping my bills paid. And that's none of your business. Yeah, I've got a lot of things, but they were obtained when I was working all the time. Before I retired. So what? I kept some of these items. I spent good money on them, so I have a right to keep them. Well, it's irritating because it seems like every time I have a live here lately, somebody comes in and they leave a real smart attitude remark. And if that's all they need to do, they don't even need to come in my live. Go watch something else. They don't know what goes on in my life. They have no business making a comment like that. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean for it to get me riled up, but it just took me wrong. Yeah, I had several people asking me to put up a GoFundMe link to where if they wanted to give me anything, they could do it through GoFundMe. And they didn't have to do it through PayPal or YouTube or any of this other stuff. So I put it up at their request. Otherwise, I would not have put it up because I'm not asking people for money. I'm not asking people to send me anything. But people do, and I appreciate it. But I'm not asking them to. The only thing I've asked my subscribers to do is watch my videos. If you like them, if you don't watch them. But it helps me if you watch them. Exactly. If you, if you've never walked in my shoes, don't judge me. No, it's going to get to the place where I'm just going to mute out live chat. I won't even have live chat on my live videos. I'll do a live video just like I do my recorded videos and close the chat. I'll do the same with my comments. I'll mute out comments on my videos so people can't leave a comment. I don't want to do that because I like to hear feedback from people, but not some of their rude remarks, no. Not when they don't know what goes on with me. Yeah, and I think the only reason I let it get to me is, but I've been working out in the heat the last couple of days. And when you do that very much, it kind of gets you to the point where you don't have as much patience anymore. I'm already irritated from the heat, so to speak. Yeah, you can block them or, put them in timeout or whatever. I don't like doing that with people, but if they come in to chat and that's the only reason they come in is just to leave bad remarks, they don't need to be here. And there's Susan Swagger. Hello. I don't think I've seen your name in chat before, but welcome. You must be a new subscriber. Exactly, Shelley. Or Sheila. I don't know which one you go by, but don't piss me off when it's hot. You may get something you don't want. I mean, I'm in the house and the AC running constantly, and it's still hot. Yeah, there's always someone that's going to leave a bad remark, or sometimes it's just the type of person they are. They don't ever have anything good to say about anybody. Just like the one that leaves comments all the time. Oh, your videos are boring. Get on with life. Do something intelligent, or you know. And I haven't blocked them yet, but they keep on. I will. Joanne says, I think about putting my feet in ice water. That sounds like a good idea. You definitely get cooled off. Thank you, Susan. I had one to come on there and tell me I needed to paint my kitchen cabinets white. Just the face of the cabinet, just the doors white, and leave everything else bordered in the dark. They said it would brighten up your kitchen quite a bit. My only comment to them, and I don't remember who it was, that ain't gonna happen. Sorry. That would look terrible to paint just the face of my cabinet doors white. This is an old mobile home. I got wood paneling. I got dark wood on my cabinets. That's the way it is, lady. That's the way it's going to stay. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know whatever possessed me to buy it. I thought it was a cute Texas hat years ago when I bought it. I'm in Texas right now. That's the reason my hat says Texas, if you can see it up there. I'm originally from North Carolina, but I've lived here in Texas for over 40 years. So I say I'm an adopted Texan. Yeah, they said you need to paint your cabinet doors white and it'll brighten up your kitchen instead of it looking so drab. Well, hey, that's my drab house. Sorry. Well, this is the way the house was built, and nobody's ever changed it. And I don't have the time or effort or the money, and I really don't want to change it. I'd rather have them the wood color than to have them white. I don't like the white paint. I'd rather have the wood. Yeah, just like that one lady said, well, your garden would look so much better if you just go around and break all those dead leaves off your plants. Oh my God, lady. If you don't know how many times I've wanted to take a bucket and go around my garden and break all those yellowing leaves off and put them in a bucket for compost, you just don't know. I don't have time to do it. Or if I have time, it's too hot out there. I'm not going to get out there in 105-degree weather and start picking up burnout leaves. I'm sorry. Plus, those burnt leaves give a little bit of shade to the base of the plant from that hot sun. Yeah, I try to reply back to them in a nice way and tell them, hey, I just don't have time to get out there and do that. I mean, I've got so much other stuff to do that has priority. Like some people think because I spend so much time in the garden, doing videos on the garden and cooking that I don't clean my house. Little do they know. I even did another video on that I'm going to post pretty soon on some of the cleaning that I do here in this house. Because if it gets done, I do it. I don't have nobody coming in that does it for me. Yeah, I remember that one, Nancy. She said she didn't see how I knew what was what in the jungle I had. I told her, I commented back, I said, well, I love my jungle. And you never know. In this heat and the drought, you don't know what will grow the best where. So you have to go through trial and error. If you put something and it grows, that's where you leave it. If it don't do well there, you got to move it somewhere else. And sometimes your garden is not going to end up all organized. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Yes, ma'am, it is. It's very easy to get on the keyboard and judge people just from a little bit of that you see in a video. Susan says, oh no, no light colored furniture or carpet or plain bedding for those reasons. Oh, but so it doesn't show dirt? My daughter at one time had a white couch and I loved it. It was a beautiful couch. But she didn't have kids either. Now they only sell white sofas. What about households with messy husbands and dogs? Well, those are the sofas you have to wrap in plastic. And if I was going to get a sofa that I had to wrap in plastic to keep it clean, I'd just go get a leather or a vinyl covered couch to begin with. Then I can just wipe it off. No, I try not to get mad at them because I know it's easy to sit back if you've never gardened and you've never done a lot of stuff that I do to understand the time it takes, the effort it takes to do what I do. It's a lot of work, and they don't understand that. They just see yellowing leaves out there and think, well, it'd look better if you got those leaves off. Well, yeah, it would. I just don't have time to go do it. And it's too hot outside to go do it most of the time, so. I inspired you when I fixed my bathroom floor. Well, that was a have to. I had a water leak in there and it messed up the original floor. It was sagging and getting real weak, so to speak, when it got all soggy wet. So I had to do something, so that was a must-to fix. But I like the wood, so a lot of people don't like wood. I do. I got pets, no whites. Well, my daughter did too when she had that white couch. She had I can't remember the name of the dog. She had a Cocker Spaniel at first when they got married. And then later on, she had these two other dogs. And they're pretty big dogs, and I can't remember the name of them. Can't remember to save my life. Hi, Ann. Welcome to chat. I think her furniture's leather now. And I wanted to get a leather or the vinyl covered so it could be wiped off, but I didn't want all my furniture to be that way. Because I really don't like sitting, especially in hot weather, on vinyl, because it seems like it makes you even hotter. But one of my recliners is done in vinyl. It's not real leather. Goodness, I couldn't afford real leather. And there's places on it where little buddy's already got his claws into it. You have fake leather and it sucks so bad no one will get the material for sure. Well, my couch is material, one of my recliners is material, and one is vinyl. So, it looks like leather, but it's not. I got cats, LO. Yeah, and they like to dig their claws in furniture, unfortunately. He liked to lay up on the arm of the recliner, and you know how the cats will do their claws like this into the furniture that they're laying on? He wanted to do that, and you can't see holes or anything in it, but if you put your hand over it, it feels rough where he stuck his claws down in it. And I said, "Oh no, I can't let you keep doing that." So I took one of my throws, and I folded it up and I laid it over the arm of the chair. So if he gets up in the chair, if he lays on the arm, he's laying on that throw. He's not on the actual material that the recliner's made out of. So if he does this, he's not going to be clawing into the chair anymore. Yeah, your dog's nails will scratch the leather just like the cat's does. Or spills like when I eat, yeah. No, Cheryl, I'm not really worried about the storm headed this way because we're so far inland. I'm so far north of the state that most of the time we're not bothered with much of the storm except a little rain, a little wind. But I saw in some of the predictions of the way it was coming up coming into the state and then curving to the right, that we may get a little bit more than just rain this time. It may come up a pretty hefty storm. I don't know. But usually we're not too worried about it this far inland. Now the coast, if I was living down on the coast, yeah, I'd be worried about it. Huh. You had to put oil on it. Yeah, you got to treat that leather to keep it soft so it doesn't dry out and crack. Joanne said Joanne said I must have hot feet. I melted all the ice in my foot pan. That's funny. Yeah, I was telling someone that a friend of mine lives in Lake Jackson, and here a couple of years ago when we had that hurricane come inland, his house got flooded. The first time they've ever flooded in that area that he knows of. He said no one's ever heard of it flooding in Lake Jackson where he was. And he got 3 feet of water in his house. He had to go up to the second floor, and he spent the night up on the second floor because that's where his bedroom and bathroom is that first night. And then he was rescued the next day by some rescue guys that come out with a boat, and he had to go out the bedroom window and drop down to the boat. Yeah, that's what worries me is the tornadoes more than anything else. I wonder if your son is anywhere close to my friend that lives in Lake Jackson. I mean, they got to be close if they're both in Lake Jackson, but... And I don't remember what hurricane it was that his house was flooded. But he's been spending all the time ever since it was flooded, gutting it out, repairing all of it, replacing appliances, rebuilding cabinets, getting it all fixed up. He just got it re-roofed, and he wants to put it on sale for the, on market, because he's bought a house in North Carolina that he wants to move permanently to, and he's wanting to sell the one in Lake Jackson. But if that flood, this hurricane hits the way it's coming, they're liable to get flooded again. And I don't think he can handle another flood at his house. I think if it floods again, he's just going to throw his hands up and walk away. Because he'll have no hope of ever selling it if people think it's in a flood zone, and that's what it is. No, nobody in Texas, believe it or not, has an underground shelter for tornadoes. And they claim they don't because that would be their grave, they said. If, there's no way they want to be underground. If a tornado comes and destroys their house, it would just cover them up. Nobody would know they're there. And it would end up being their grave. And that's why a lot of them say they don't put in storm shelters. They'll take their chances above ground, is what they say. So, your son is boarding windows up today, Ann? Oh, wow. It must be going to get bad where you're at then. You're in the path of it. Okay. Yeah, I've been meaning to call my friend, and I'll probably call him after the live is over and find out what's going on with him, because I know he's scared to death. He's scared to death his house is going to flood again after all the work he's done in cleaning it up and repairing it from the flood we've had a couple of years ago, or they had. And like I said, they've never flooded there before. If they had, people, when they built houses, would, build up their lots to higher elevation to where the house would be higher, so they didn't flood that bad. But it's never flooded there, so they didn't know to do that. Joanne says my house has hurricane shutters. You'd get a shelter if I lived in Tornado Alley. Well, they're kind of right. If I had a storm shelter and I went in there and it destroyed everything above it and it just piled it on top, nobody'd know I was in a storm shelter. Most people would not even know I had one. So they just say, well, she wasn't home. And here I am underground. So I don't know. But I don't know anybody out here that has a storm shelter. Nowhere. Well, I said, sometimes I thought I'd be better off if I was back in North Carolina, but because it doesn't get as extremely hot. But I think sometimes I'm better off here because of my arthritis. I don't think my arthritis bothers me as bad here because of the dry heat as it would if I lived back in North Carolina, where it's a lot cooler and a lot more humid. Well, hi, Barbara Elford. Yeah, well, 7 is on Thursdays. This is Sunday, so usually I go live at 3 p.m. on Sunday. And I might end up changing that time. I don't know. Because this is the hottest time of the day. But I figured, well, it's too hot for people to be outside doing anything, so maybe they'll be inside watching a live video. And there's April. Hi, April. Welcome to our chat. You'll never guess what I was watching on some videos first thing this morning while I was drinking my coffee. And that question's to April. I come across these competition videos from Hawaii, and it was men dancing, the tribal dances and stuff. I watched 2 or 3 different teams of those men doing those tribal dances in this competition. It was kind of interesting. I said, oh my God, they don't wear very much. They definitely had on G strings out there dancing. They had more around their ankles than they had around their buddy, if you know what I'm talking about. Yes, ma'am, Joanne, I'm Central Time. And Cheryl says, I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. Well, I'm from the little town called Atkinson, North Carolina. If you live in Wilmington, then you've heard of Atkinson. You've probably been there a time or two. Cindy, that's why Hawaii makes you sweat. Cheryl, have you ever been to Burgaw or Wilmington or Wallace? I'm sure you have if you live in Wilmington, if you were from Wilmington. Sexy Hawaiians. Yeah, those guys were built pretty good. They didn't have nothing to be ashamed of. They didn't mind showing it off. Give me a brown muscle man any day. Well, all of them weren't brown. I was surprised. There was a couple of them that was whiter than me. They didn't even look like they had a tan. But they were built pretty good. Yes, many times. Well, then you've probably heard of the Barnhill family, because that's where my dad was originally from, and all his family was from that area. The Barnhills and the Woodcocks, I think, kind of reigned over that Atkinson whole area for Pender County. April says she took her boyfriend surfing this morning. He did good. I'd love to have been able to see that, April. You taking your boyfriend surfing. I mean, all Hawaiians are not what you call dark skinned. They're dark because they stay out in the sun all the time, but they're not really, that dark. I wouldn't even know how to begin to surf. I've never lived around waves, so I wouldn't know. Not the kind you could surf from. I mean, I lived close to the ocean, but the area that I was from, you couldn't have surfed on any of them. Didn't have big waves enough to surf on. I remember watching those dancers in that competition, and I said, April is not going to believe what I'm watching. Barbara said, do you surf, April, or did you just throw your boyfriend in? I just started to say, I bet you April surfs. I used to water ski a little bit, but I bet you I couldn't even get up on a water ski now. How many ounces in your tumbler? You know what's in my tumbler? It's Mountain Dew. Because I knew I had to keep something with me talking for my allergies to keep my throat wet, or I'd be coughing my head off. Or either I usually have the Mountain Dew or I got water. I don't drink alcohol at all. Or I drink tea. That's something I got to make. I need to make a pitcher of tea, iced tea. And I've been wanting to put another watermelon slushie together. I still got some watermelon in the freezer that I need to use up before I put any more in this year. I'm drinking Coke Zero in my tumbler, but it's mostly always water. Yeah, the ice melts, so it kind of weakens the Coke down. Gotta run to the drugstore. Well, be careful. Go run into the drugstore. You might run into somebody. And that was supposed to be a joke. Here comes a positive quote that I came across today. It said, "You're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Keep your face to the sunshine, and you cannot see a shadow. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." How true. Barbara said, "I've had many swimming lessons and learned to swim. Now I'm afraid of water. I do real good holding on the edge and sitting in the kiddie pool." Well, I'll tell you what, unless it's a swimming pool, I'm kind of afraid to go in the water. I don't swim that well to begin with. But here on the 4th of July, that morning, down in, I think it was Galveston, they had shark attacks. There were several people attacked by the same shark. One lost most of the calf of their leg from a bite mark, a shark bite. They care flighted one to some special hospital. They took the other ones to hospitals close by. And then there was a couple that had just minor bites, but yeah, they think it was all from the same shark. And usually they don't have shark attacks down there on Galveston beaches, but they did 4th of July morning. I don't like getting in water unless I can see what's in it and see the bottom where I'm stepping. I mean, I know back home we used to go to the river and kind of swim and cool off, but I didn't go far in the river. I stayed close to the bank because I didn't like going in water when I couldn't see what's in it. That's one thing I never liked about swimming in the ocean where I lived. I love living at the ocean. Don't get me wrong, I love living there, being able to get out on the beach and walk and just enjoy the ocean. But to go swimming in it, I didn't like, because you go out where it's waist deep and all of a sudden you feel things hitting your legs and you know it's fish. And the first thing I think of is sharks. Because, I mean, if you're in waist deep water, you can be attacked if there's a shark around. It don't even have to be waist deep. Exactly, Cindy. It's never too late to be what you could have been. You can always change and do something different. Well, see, when I lived in North Carolina, we really didn't have pools to swim in. If we went swimming, it was at the river or the ocean. Now, when I lived in New York as a small child, we had a place a couple of blocks from where our apartment was that we went to sometimes on Saturdays, in the summer, and we could go swimming. It was like what do they call it, a YMCA or whatever, where you had indoor pools and stuff like that. But yeah, I never liked to swim in a place I can't see the bottom. And I heard stories about here in this Granbury Lake where there's catfish in the lake big as a Volkswagen. They could just open your mouth and you'd fall right in. I'd be gone. Yeah, I don't want to be a snack for any shark. It's too late to revise gravity. We used to go tubing in the river. Yeah, I've been tubing down in the Brazos River down in Glen Rose. There's a place there where you can rent tubes and put them in the water there. Or the truck, the people that rent you the tubes, they usually load you up in a pickup and take you up to the bridge up where it is. And you get in the water at the bridge, and then the current takes you right down the river, down to low water crossing, to another bridge where you can get out. But you got to have somebody to move your cars and stuff so you'll have your automobile there, when you're ready to leave. But usually what they do is, like I said, you'd rent your tubes, you'd park your vehicle at low water crossing, they take you in a pickup or somebody's car up a few miles upstream, put you out in the water, and then you cruise down. I mean, you just sit in your tube and the current just takes you right down. People have their coolers in a tube. They rope it in so it don't go underwater and kind of chain their inner tubes together so there's a whole group floating down the Brazos River together. You get thirsty, you just open the cooler and get you a drink out. You have lots of shark bites here in Destin, Florida. Yeah, it's been crazy everywhere. Even in North Carolina, they reported shark bites. And that's not usually happening. I think the weather, the climate, the ozone or whatever it is even driven the sea life crazy. Being here and free diving in shark breeding grounds makes you think less about everything else in the water. Yeah, that would make a difference. Yeah, I love going to the beach. I love living at the beach because I could get out and walk on this beach, up and down the beach anytime I wanted to, and I could get out and where the waves would come up and just wet my legs or wet my feet. I love doing that, but I didn't care that much for swimming in the ocean. I didn't like getting in the salt water anyway, even though I know it's good for your skin. It's good for bites, cuts, or anything. I remember one time when I drove home with my son and his friend. Two of his friends went with us. They'd never been to the ocean before. And we stopped at Myrtle Beach. I drove up on the beach. They got out. Their eyes were that big. Like, oh my God, look at all the water. It goes on forever. There's no end to it out there. And they took off running and just dove in that water. And they were used to swimming in swimming pools where it didn't matter if you swallowed half the pool water. Well, they swallowed a bunch of that seawater. Needless to say, they had diarrhea for several days. Because one thing you don't want to do is swallow salt water from the ocean. It will make you sick. Too many leeches. Well, I've never seen a leech, so I don't know. I guess it depends on the area you live in. And there's a Louisiana homestead. Hello. Welcome to our chat. Nothing here for 2,500 miles. I had one on my leg that was so fat from, oh God. Where do you live, Cindy? Where do you get in the water at to get a leech on you like that? I would not be near any water that I get leeches on me. I would not be going in that. Poured salt on it and it died. Alaska. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, I had forgot you lived in Alaska. If I knew there was leeches in the water, I wouldn't even be putting my toe in the water. But it's so different, from one country to the other, one area from another. You know, the things that you can do outdoors, what kind of lakes and streams and rivers and oceans you have. Covered in leeches there. Oh, no. I'd stick to showering or taking a bath in my bathtub. Or I'd have to build me a homemade swimming pool and try that. I wouldn't be getting in that lake or wherever the leeches were. The close beach is about 300 miles, so not going to happen anytime soon. Closest lake is about 3 hours. I just put me a big water tub in the yard. I bought one of those, it was a 16-foot float ring swimming pool one summer, and I had the most fun with that. I enjoyed it so much. And I said it wasn't deep enough really to swim in, but you could get in it and get wet, cool off, and it felt good. And I could float around on a floaty in there. And when my granddaughter came over, she was little then. She loved getting in Grandma's swimming pool. We had a lot of fun with it. I told everybody it was my cold tub. Because the craze back when I put that pool up, everybody was getting a hot tub. You had to have a hot tub. That was the hottest thing going. I said, well, with this weather out here, I don't need a hot tub. I have a cold tub. It was only about 3 foot deep, but it was 16 foot across, so it was plenty big. Yeah, even a sprinkler feels good in the summertime. Kids have a lot of fun in that. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a salad. I've cut some of my lettuce off of my 5-tier back here on the patio yesterday. And I washed it and got it in a bowl right ready. I mean, all I got to do is put in some other fixings and boil me an egg or two and put me some boiled egg in it. And slice me up a tomato from the garden in it. And I've got me a salad. That'll be my dinner for tonight. Yeah, and see, we can't even run a sprinkler here in our yard. With these water restrictions, you can't have any outside watering at all, except on your watering day. And even on your watering day, there's only certain things you can wet with the water hose. You can't wash your car outside. You can't hose down your sidewalk. You can't wash off patio furniture, anything like that. Well, I have some Russian salad dressing that I'm going to put on my salad. I switch around. I've got ranch. I've got several different ones. I've got Italian dressing. But I love Russian dressing. I always have loved it. So that's what I'm going to put on my salad tonight. That's the kind I'm making, LOL, plus cottage cheese. I don't use any dressing. See if I can show you what I'm going to use. Well, what did I do with it? I thought it was right there, but I guess maybe it wasn't. Here it is. I rearranged I cleaned out my freezer yesterday, and I rearranged stuff in my refrigerator, but that's the dressing that I'm going to be putting on my salad tonight. I mean, it just has a taste that I love, and I love Catalina dressing too. And sometimes I'll make a vinegar and oil dressing myself. It just depends what I'm in the mood for, but this is going to be it tonight. It's too hot to cook anything tonight. Yep, I get the balsamic vinegar dressings. I love those, especially like the raspberry and the strawberry. I just don't have any right now, but I do love them. I buy them quite often. That sounds good, Sheila. Tuna salad, cottage cheese, potato salad, perfect for a hot day. Yeah, it sure is. Anything cold to help cool you off. I remember green goddess dressing. I haven't had any of that in a long time. It's been years. Do they even still have it? I like salad from Chick-fil-A. I don't think I've ever had salad from there before, April. Yeah, salad plate when it's 95 degrees, and that's what it is right here this minute. Sounds real good. Cobb salad, yep, that sounds good too. Don't know why, but I remember it used to be so good in the 70s. Yeah, Catalina dressing is real good. I switch around sometimes from one to the other. There was one of those balsamic dressings that were so good. I can't remember the name of it, but it was one of the raspberries or strawberries or one of those that was so good. And I got it one time and then I didn't remember exactly what it was I bought, and I haven't found it since. So I said, well, each time I go, I buy a different one. Maybe I'll come across that same one again sooner or later. Papaya seed dressing is good. I've never had papaya seed dressing. Yeah, I like ranch with some things, but I don't want to eat it all the time. It's the best, actually. Which one's the best, Kai? Ranch? Ooh, 114? Yeah, perfect day to make a tuna salad. Homemade ranch only. Skinny Girl from Walmart, lots of choices, all great tasting. I don't think I've tried the Skinny Girl dressings. I'll have to try some of them, Linda. Oh, papaya is the best. I bet it is, but I've never tried it, so I don't. I know what papaya tastes like, and it's really good. So I'm sure the dressing is really good. Hate the bottle stuff. Patty says, praise God, we're having a down. A downpour? Is it raining? A storm, okay. Susan's got her cheesy hash browns in the oven. I burned my fingertip. Oh no. Yep, thank God for small favors. Maybe He'll give all of us some good rain and just no damage, no flooding. We can do without all the bad stuff. I like mangoes too, and I bet you dressing, a salad dressing made out of mangoes would be real good too. Cindy's got to start cooking her pasta. Well, in an hour. How long have we been on here? Hour and 30 minutes? Seems like we've been on here longer than that. I don't know why. Mangoes are in season right now. Well, nobody grows mangoes around here. You got to buy them at the grocery store if they have them. Patty says, I subscribe to Kaya YouTube. He's got a neat fireworks display video that he posted. You're having homemade hamburgers. That reminds me, I've got ground beef in the refrigerator that needs to be cooked or frozen. Oh no. Well, somebody must have told one of your daughters that mangoes were poison that put that in her head. Because mangoes are good. And Gladys is back. Welcome back, Gladys. Well, you know, even poison can taste good. She just says it probably tastes bad. She wouldn't know what poison tasted like. A lot of poisons, you don't even have a taste to it. You know how somebody can mention something and you hear it or tell you something, tell you that mangoes were poison? You'd probably think twice about wanting to bite into one. Mangoes are in the poison oak family. I didn't know that, April. So she may have something on poison mangoes. Maybe she read something about mangoes being in the poison oak family or something, so she doesn't want to eat it thinking it's poison. Well, to me, they have an odd taste, a different taste, but I think they're good. From like a peach. It's almost like biting into a peach, but it has a different flavor to it. Cindy said I've tasted things that taste like Band-Aids before. I don't know what a Band-Aid tastes like. I don't think I've ever had one in my mouth, and I don't think I want to. There's a raspberry vinaigrette by Wishbone that's real good. Yeah, that might have been the one that I got that I thought was so good one time. Ooh, man. Oh, wow. First camera booster You're getting the hurricane first thing in the morning, so pray for us. That's on her birthday. Well, happy birthday. Oh, yeah, I know the smell of one, and it doesn't smell good. Joanne says, I think mango tastes like peach mixed with squash. It's got an unusual taste, but it has a good taste to it. I remember the first time I ever ate one. That's what I was thinking. It's got a different odd taste, but it was really good, I thought. We all love you, Gladys. Now I can't imagine a pickled mango. That would certainly be different. How would you go about pickling a mango? With vinegar and stuff, just like you do a sweet pickle or something? Huh, that's interesting. A pickled mango. Oh, you have a whole orchard of mangoes. Oh my gosh. Send us some, April. Be picking me some mangoes all the time if I had a whole orchard of them close to my house. But I guess if they belong to someone else, you're not really supposed to go pick their fruit, huh? Pickle mango, the mangoes are kind of still green. It's an ear of corn in the microwave. There's nothing to it, Susan. Just take your ear of corn, don't do anything to it, put it in the microwave, and I microwave mine for 5 minutes. It's going to be really hot when you take it out, so be careful to have a towel or something to touch it to get it out of the microwave. And then you can start pulling you can pull the silk out of the end of it, and you can open it up, and the silk just basically falls off of your corn. And it's so good when it comes out of the microwave like that. I did a video on it here a long time ago. Yeah, what I do is when I take mine out, I take a knife, a good sharp butcher knife, and I cut the end off of the cob where it grew on the stalk. Cut that end off. And then you can loosen the hull around it, or the husk, so you can get hold of the cob, grab the other end where the silks and the end of the shucks are, and you can kind of twist it a little bit and pull it right off. And just about every bit of that silk and everything will come right off that ear of corn. Right ready to eat. Well, your corn didn't get dirty. It's inside the hull. It's inside the husk. You don't have to clean it. If you ever cook your corn that way, you'll never boil it again, I'll promise you. I mean, you might wrap it up and put it on a grill and cook it because it's good that way. But if you ever cook corn in a microwave one time and do it right, you'll never boil it again. Well, if you've got 4 ears of corn and it doesn't have the shuck on it or anything, all you have to do is put it in the microwave and cook it. If mine is already clean with the shuck off of it and the corn silks off of it, I just put it in the microwave on a plate or something and cook it for the length of time needed and take it out. But I've got corn on the cob, it's still just like it was broke off the corn stalk. And when I cook mine, I just put the whole thing in the microwave, cook it for 5 minutes. And like I said, cut the end of it off, grab the end with the silks and stuff, and just twist it and pull it right off. You got a cooked, clean ear of corn ready to eat. Yep, 5 minutes is what I put mine in. If it's a whole ear of corn, I do. God bless you, Patty. Have a good evening. Have a good day tomorrow. In fact, I need to start cooking some of my corn. I've got 4 or 5 ears in it. It was so cheap. So I need to start eating some of it. Susan says, Gladys, I've been good today. I can't imagine on your bad days, Susan. See how many we got. We got 31 thumbs up, 47 people still watching. Susan says, I just went out long enough to take the boy upstairs to work, but he got me a Route 33 Diet Coke, and then across the street I got a Whopper and small onion rings and 4-piece nuggets for the babies. So you're going to have your cheesy hash browns with your burger? You must do like I do, April. You put everything under the sun in your salad, so it takes a long time to get it together. I have had enough points. Nothing cost me anything. Oh, wow. You must eat out a lot then. At Burger King, if you got enough points that it doesn't cost you. Yeah, it's always nice to get anything free. You gave the babies the nuggets. Have to give them something. Maybe. Yeah, I think I've got 1 or 2 tomatoes still outside on the vine. I can bring those in. They're little ones. And I got a couple of cucumbers up here in the tray that I can cut up in my salad. Got plenty of onions to go in there. And I got some radishes, celery. And like I said, I got to boil me a couple of eggs. I always like a few boiled eggs, or at least one boiled egg in my salad. Oh, I bet that was fun, April. You took that grandbaby boy in the pool for the first time. I bet he loved the water. Zucchini bread sounds good. It's too hot to turn the oven on, though. We're already getting wind. It might come early, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go outside and, before dark and put the door down to my little greenhouse just in case the wind gets up. I mean, it might destroy the greenhouse, but if I put the door down, it'll keep the wind from blowing in and blowing everything off the shelves inside. And if the wind don't get bad enough just to destroy the whole thing, then I should be good. Well, you put whatever seasoning you want in it, Susan, in that cheesy hash brown casserole. I think I put salt and pepper, and I don't know if I put garlic powder or not in it. Can't remember. I know I put salt and pepper in it. Oh, me. I was so wore out from yesterday working in the garden and getting hot. I did not even want to get up out of bed this morning. I bet it was 9 o'clock before I rolled out of bed. And then I really didn't want to get up. Your winds are getting up pretty good, Ann? Yeah, you can add whatever seasonings you want to it that you like. That's up to you. Or you don't have to put any of in it at all except maybe salt and pepper. Yeah, usually cream soup has a little bit of salt. At 9 o'clock. The devil made me do it, Susan. I was just so wore out from yesterday. And when you get so hot from the heat, when you're outside working, it just drains every bit of your energy. And that's the way I felt this morning. And even by 9 o'clock, I still felt drained and I didn't want to get up to do anything. Susan got up at noon. Well, now you make me feel better. And Ann, well, now I don't feel so bad that I slept in till 9 o'clock. Well, yeah, I didn't go to bed last night till almost 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. I was up messing with videos, uploading videos, editing videos, and the time gets away with me when I'm doing that. I look up at the clock and I says, oh my God, I got to go to bed. I'll be up here all night messing with this video. Cindy says I got up at 8 and had coffee and then had a nap after that. You're my kind of people, ladies. Only I'd have to drink decaf if I took a nap after drinking coffee, because the caffeine would keep me awake. Your weather says you're getting rains at 5 o'clock today. It's almost time then. I mean, well, it's 5 minutes to 5 p.m. right now here. You have a biopsy on August 16th and have to be there at 8 a.m. Yeah, you can tell yourself, get up now and you can go back to sleep later on. Connie gets up at 4 a.m. every day. I got up at 4 o'clock one time in my life, but it was because I had to drive for over an hour to get to work. So I had to be up at 4 a.m. to get coffee, something to eat, get dressed, get ready to head to work and drive to work. The older you get, coffee puts you to sleep. It don't put me to sleep, that's for sure. Now, I can drink hot tea, and it relaxes me and it'll put me to sleep, but coffee won't. Coffee will keep me awake. You get biopsy on your skin all the time? Oh, wow. Oh, just for the liver study. I forget you're in this liver study thing. Ooh, babe. I'm getting sleepy now. Because it's been since 9 o'clock that I drank any coffee. Oh, wow, April, you've had 3 melanoma surgeries. My friend from high school is having surgeries and all that for skin cancer. Oh, no. Both legs. Yeah, that's terrible. Huh. You know, I don't know. I know sun can cause skin cancers, but I've known people that have skin cancer, they don't ever stay out in the sun. So I think it has a lot to do with the person, too. Just like I know people that have died from, what is it, TB, and they never smoked in their life. And they claim that smoking a lot of cigarettes causes people to get tuberculosis. But this person never smoked in their whole life and they died from it. So, it has a lot to do with the person. Yeah, I've done that too, Susan. Baby oil with iodine in it. I don't know what that was supposed to help, but we did it. Yeah, it can be caused by chemicals, just anything that you come in contact with today, all the stuff they put in food, the preservatives and stuff, any of that stuff can give you cancers of all different kinds, skin cancers, other cancer. Yeah, or lung cancers for non-smokers. You're exactly right. So I say live healthy, be happy, eat what you want, but not in excess. Just live the best way you can to have a healthy, clean life, and hope for the best. I mean, yeah, your cirrhosis is not from drinking. See? Did you make cinnamon toothpicks? I'm a Taurus too, Cindy. I'm not a Cancer, I'm a Taurus. Who are you asking, did they make cinnamon toothpicks? I've never made a cinnamon toothpick in my life. Growing up, we did. I don't know how you would go about making a cinnamon toothpick other than putting cinnamon on it. Huh. Cancer is my moon sign, April says. Huh. Well, we've been on for 2 hours, seems like it already. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I've never done that, Susan. We didn't do that growing up, or that I know of, about cinnamon toothpicks. Oh, I've had the candy cigarettes before. We thought that was something else. And root beer. We love the root beer floats with ice cream. They were so good. I never smoked cigarettes either, but there was candy cigarettes that you got at the store that were good. They were just candy. I mean, you couldn't smoke them. Kids pretended they were smoking them, but April says I'm still pot free. You never got drunk, but you did drink some. Well, I don't guess there's any harm in anyone drinking a little bit of alcohol as long as you don't become a drunk with it. Or get out there and, have too much to drink and get behind the wheel of a car and drive. Well, I've always been allergic to cigarettes, so I can't be around people smoking, so I definitely didn't smoke myself. I'm not ever in the same area with anybody smoking because I have allergic reaction to the smoke. Now I get out there and have a fire in my fire pit, but I always make sure that the smoke is going away from me so I'm not breathing it because it would drive my allergies crazy if I did breathe it. And you think the way I cough all the time that I was a bad smoker or something. Yeah, you don't want to go into class with a hangover. All right, well, ladies, we've been on here for 2 hours. I didn't mean to keep y'all this long, but I've enjoyed it. I'm glad all of you could show up for the live chat today and fellowship. I love chatting with everybody. You know, it's a way to get together with friends from all over the world, basically, and have a good time without actually being there. Mahalo. Tea and water with an occasional fruit drink. Yeah, that's me, Susan. Closest thing I come to drinking alcohol is I buy some of that frozen margarita mix, you know, that you buy like in a juice can, and make a slushy with it, but I don't add alcohol because I love the taste of it. It's so good. I fixed one for my mom when she was here on vacation one time, and it was, you know, it was just like drinking an icy slush because that's basically all it was. You just didn't put alcohol in it. Yeah, y'all have a great week. Stay safe with the storm coming in tonight. I hope all of you stay safe from that. Any of you that are close to the coast or that will get a lot of that bad storm, I'm going to keep you in my prayers that all of you stay safe and nobody gets flooding or any wind damage or tornadoes or any of the bad stuff. Yep, Connie, love and prayers to everybody watching. Y'all have a blessed night. Have a fantastic day tomorrow. And I will see you on my next live. Love y'all. Bye.